These are the strongest beers I could find locally, and we're trying them out on today's Beer Detour episode. Let's do this, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beer Detour. As always, I'm your host, Miguel Brambila. On today's very special episode, we have three big hitters here. I wanted to try out some beer that had a very high alcohol content, some heavy hitters as we like to call them. I found three. I think they're gonna be cool. They each have a little distinct look to them, but they all have a very high ABV or alcohol by volume. So let's start with this one here. This is from Bale. It's a local brewery here in the state of Washington. This one's called Mount St. Humulus. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Triple IPA. Very interesting, guys. And then we have a Lagunitas MAXIMUS Colossal IPA. And finally, we have a La Fin de Monde Belgian style Triple L. So I'm curious to see what they look like, what they taste like, and of course we're gonna give it that Beer Detour score, but let's find out a little bit more about each one of these. Bale is one of my favorite breweries here in the state of Washington. I saw this on the shelf and immediately had to grab it because this does have an ABV or alcohol by volume of 10.2%. This is a bad boy, guys. The IBU is 77. It's listed as a triple IPA, brewed as a part of Washington's Hop Mob. The first triple IPA brewed by Bale hits like a volcanic eruption of the finest Yakima Valley hops. Experience an explosion of hop aroma in each sip thanks to a heavy dry hop addition of Mosaic, Huguenot, and Citra. Be careful, folks. Mount St. Humulus just might blow your top right off. Think like the smell of pouring hop pellets fresh out of the bag on a brew day. Citrus, grassy, light cereal aromas with the secondary aroma flavors of pine, stone fruit, pineapple, blueberry, and honeydew. All right, so I love this can here. It has a picture of the mountain there. I believe this is a play on Mount St. Helens, which erupted not that long ago. But it has very cool design. Yeah, so it just has a descriptive on the can as well. Very cool. This one is from Bale. Here we have Lagunitas MAXIMUS Colossal IPA. I love this bottle design. Really cool, guys. Let's get some beer specs here. It does have an ABV or alcohol by volume of 9%, and the IBU score is 60.5. So this is a, let's read some descriptive notes here. Our Colossal take on a double IPA full of Simcoe, Cascade, and Centennial hops, balanced against tons of rich malted barley. Very interesting. From Lagunitas MAXIMUS Colossal IPA. All right, guys, this one is very interesting. They had to wrap it up in some tinfoil to make it extra special, but I thought it was really cool looking, and I love the design and the name of it, La Fin de Monde. I believe that's maybe some Italian words in there, because it sounds like it's saying La Fin de Mundo, which is the end of the world. It's a Belgian style triple L, and this one does have an ABV or alcohol by volume of 9%. Let's get some more info here. The IBU score is a 19 on this one here. Rich and sophisticated golden triple has earned several international titles thanks to its refined taste and marked by notes of grains, fruit, spice, and supported by a slight bitterness. Very interesting, guys. Additional notes here. It is a tribute to Quebec, the land encountered by the 16th century French explorers who thought they reached the end of the world. So this is a Canadian beer, which is some French aspiration or inspiration, I should say, brewed with some spices. Very interesting, very strong beer. All right, guys, so let's pour out Bale Breakers Mount St. Humulus Triple IPA. See what this looks like. Alright, so we have Lagunitas Brewing Company Maximus Colossal Double IPA. Alright, and last but certainly not least, Unibroue's La Fin de Monde, the end of the world Belgian style triple ale. These are the top 3 strongest beers I could find here locally, guys, and we definitely have some distinctive looking beers. Each one of these is colossally strong for me. If you see my other videos, my preference when it comes to ABV or alcohol by volume is usually 5.0 to about 7.0. That's good for me for IPA wise. These are taking it to another level, so be careful if you guys pick up a pack of these, because they are strong and they will put you down. But just by looking at them, they look really good, guys. Let's get some aroma going here. Let's taste Mount St. Humulus Triple IPA. Okay. Very distinctive Bale Breaker aroma going on there. Very hoppy, very bitter smell. Let's take this Lagunitas. Look at the thick head on this one here, and a deep, rich amber looking, almost like a red ale. Okay, this one seems to be a little bit more malty and a little bit lighter, not so hoppy. What about this Canadian Unibroue? I can't pronounce that, guys, but let's get some aroma here. Ooh, okay. Very malty, very crisp. Almost like a Pilsner style. Some wheat in there. Okay. So I'm going to be trying each one of these out independently, and then I'm going to give it that Beer Detour score. So let's go right into it, guys. Let's start with the Bale Breaker here. Mount St. Humulus. This one is the strongest one at 10.2. Let's do this, guys. Cheers. Wow. Very aggressive, I might say. Very hoppy. If you're used to Bale Breakers, you're gonna notice that hoppy start right at the beginning. Not as bitter as I thought it was gonna be. You can definitely taste the alcohol. Very strong. Leaves a deep, rich alcohol taste in your mouth. But that's not that bad. I thought it was gonna be overwhelmingly the alcoholic aroma is going to be overwhelming, but it's actually not. It actually tastes, well, it tastes like a very strong, bitter IPA, which is exactly what it is. Let's try out this one here from Lagunitas. Cheers, guys. Okay. So this one is actually really good as well, but different taste. A lot smoother, more mellow, light bodied. Does have a little bit of bitter aftertaste. I would say this one's a lot more malty. Not so much, you don't get that hop aroma that you get from the Bale Breaker, but you do get a lot a lot more malty and a little bit bitter aftertaste. Let's move on to the Canadian bad boy here, End of the World IPA. So this is also 9%. The Lagunitas is 9%. The Bale Breaker's 10.2. Let's try this one out here. Cheers, guys. Ooh. It's a weird taste. It's a malty taste, grainy taste almost. Reminds me of the German Pilsners that we tried out in a couple episodes. It is very heavily influenced by German Pilsner. It does say Belgian style triple L, so it does have a lot of spices. It's a very big difference from here to here, guys. This is very West Coast style, hoppy, really hoppy, but very clean taste. This is like a spicy, almost hazy, just very different that I'm not used to, but it's not bad, but it does have some spices in there that's gonna throw you off, and I can definitely taste the alcohol content on this one here. This Lagunitas hides it a little bit better. It does have more of a refined taste to it, and the hoppiness of the Bale Breaker is what I'm used to, but definitely does have a higher alcohol content here. Let's go over and give all these here a Beer Detour score. So we have some powerful hitters here for you guys. These are the top 3 strongest beers that I can find near me. So we have Bale Breaker, we have Lagunitas, and we have this weird Canadian imported beer that I still cannot pronounce, Unibroue, something like that. This is End of the World, 9%. This one is Lagunitas MAXIMUS Colossal IPA, 9%. And then, of course, we have Bale Breaker Mount St. HUMULUS Triple IPA. Let's talk a little bit about my rankings here, because I want to let you guys know 2 different things. I am going to rate these in a Beer Detour score, but also want to talk a little bit about what can you expect from these. So if you're looking for a beer that's going to be nice to drink, that has a high alcohol content, a strong ABV content, but beer that can mask that so you're not always wincing when you're drinking it. In any case, this is not something I would recommend to family and friends, but if you're a beer connoisseur, or if you see this and you're interested, I would say go ahead and try it out. I mean, it's not something you're gonna drink all the time, but it is something that you might be interested in. Go ahead, try it out. So let's start off with the taste, okay? The most overwhelming taste out of all these here is this Canadian beer here, the La Fin de Monde. Because it's spices and it's just a flavor profile is the weakest one, so you can taste the alcohol content the most. And so I would say if you're looking for a beer that's going to mask the alcohol, that strong sort of heated alcohol taste that you would get from a strong IPA or a strong beer, this might be the weakest one to try out. Between these 2, I'm going to say the Bale Breaker is probably the best one to mask that strong alcohol content, and the reason for that is because it's the most bitter, hoppy beer that from the lot here. This one's a little bit more malty. It does have some good taste to it, but this one here is a lot more hoppy, and the hop aroma and the hop taste really mask the alcohol content in the beer. So if you're looking for a strong beer, if that's your go-to, try the Bale Breaker one. It's gonna mask it the most. But in regards to a Beer Detour score, of course, let's start off with the Bale Breaker. So this one, really good, hoppy, definitely can taste the alcohol content, but the hop aroma and the hop in there really masks it pretty good. And it has nice taste. I'm gonna give this an 8.0. All right, so that's pretty good. It's a good standard score, not too high, not too low. Let's go over to this imported bad boy here, End of the World, 9% Belgian style triple L. My least favorite, sorry guys, but the spices, and then that sort of hazy, and you can just see it in the color here, hazy Pilsner German style. I just can't get used to it. Maybe it's because I'm used to the West Coast style IPAs over here, but I just can't get used to it, guys. So this is going to be my lowest score for this one here. It's going to be a 6.5 for this one here. So besides taste, very strong alcohol flavor profile, you're going to immediately notice that you're drinking a high alcohol content beer. So in regards to taking everything into consideration, the best one for me is the Lagunitas MAXIMUS Colossal IPA, 9% ABV. It has a very rich malty taste, and it's as you can tell, the head was really nice on this one. I love the color profile as well. The smell of it, the aroma is very light and subtle, but it honestly has a little bit of everything. It can cover the alcohol, but it does have some taste notes to it. The flavor profile is really good. I'm gonna give this an 8.3. Now that's not a big difference as you would think from this one to this one. I really like the Bale Breaker as well. So it's a very little subtle differences between these two. But this one is very low on my scale there. So there you guys have it. These are the strongest beers, ABVs that I can find. Guys, so this one was really fun. These are some really strong beers, and it's very interesting to taste the different notes and the different flavor profiles from each and every one of these. If you guys want to see more videos, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You want to hit that notification bell, that way you're alerted every time a new video drops. And then as always, give this video and all my videos a thumbs up. It does help. I am also starting a Patreon so you guys can help support the channel, so make more content for you guys. If you guys want to know what's going to be included on there, go over to patreon.com/Beer Detour. I put a video on there describing exactly what kind of exclusive sneak peek and new stuff that you guys are going to get on there if you become a Patreon. So check that out, and I will see you guys next time.